Are you or your spouse or someone you know struggling with depression? Today we're going to talk all about how to deal with a spouse going through depression within your marriage.
Hey guys, this is Sam.
And Sarah.
And we're from Work Life Flu, and today is another 7-minute Sunday where we talk about work, life,
and everything in between.
Everything in between. Today's kind of a personal topic for us. It's about dealing with depression in a relationship or marriage or your family. And yeah, so I guess I'll just start it off. So we've done a series, or I've done a series called Protecting Your Peace. I will put a link to the playlist below, all about how you can overcome depression and stay away from it long term, and that's more of like a personal thing. But we wanted to talk about it more within our marriage, and just to give you guys kind of a very quick glossing over the surface of the depression I have gone through. I had postpartum depression with our first daughter. It was pretty bad. And it, you know, it definitely affected our marriage. It affected me. It affected everything. And so I just thought it would be helpful, because this is not something you hear a lot about, is like how it can affect your marriage and how a spouse can like support the person going through it and what to look for and stuff like that. So I thought we would talk about that. And like I said, it was postpartum depression I went through, so I mean that's different than other kinds, but it was also you know, brought on also by life circumstances. We were moving, living with our parents, and living here, and then doing this, that, and the other thing, and financial and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so I guess maybe, do you want to start off talking about like maybe some things people can look for within their spouse? Like signs?
Yeah, because sometimes a person won't show it.
It's hard because you know, if you look up like signs of depression in Google, will spit out, you know, your average reasons, like you know, like regressing in their personality, not eating, not sleeping, or sleeping too much, like withdrawing from activities. Those are like the common things. And I guess with what happened with Sarah was, I think it was just a lot of worrying.
Yeah, it was
tons and tons of worrying. I didn't think she was gonna have that depression, so because Sarah by nature kind of is a worrier, and I'm kind of more like this free spirit, kind of plan as you go kind of thing. So I guess I didn't really know until she told me like some of the other things she was feeling too, you know, that she had it. I'm like, well, we need to
and I think for mine it like started off slow. It started off in my pregnancy, and then once it came on full force, I mean, it was obvious. The crying, the worrying, just saying, I don't want to feel like this is awful, you know. And we are very open, so for him, like, it was like a joint thing of like, okay, we need to go in. You're definitely not your normal self. I wasn't gonna like let it blow over, because I'm not one to do that. So yeah, I would say just, you know, talking to them. But if they seem off, you know, there might be something off. You know what I mean?
This is kind of where you should have really good communication with your spouse,
and know each other pretty well.
If you don't know what's going on in each other's minds or lives, then you could be missing a lot of things, you know, like, and you could have saved them, you know, or helped them and sooner. If, I'm not trying to be morbid or anything, but you know what I mean. So
because depression, untreated people do take their lives and stuff. So okay, so beyond that, maybe just some tips for dealing with depression. I guess I'll start. One of the big ones for me is to just say things with love and support, even though you don't understand. Santa was really good at that. I know he felt lost. He felt confused. He didn't understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling. He didn't feel the same way, but he knew and respected the fact that I felt this way and could not control it. And so he was very supportive of, you know, not belittling me or saying like, you know, you're just freaking out. There's no big deal. Like, why are you worrying about that? Like, that's
now
not gonna
I say
happen.
that because there are a lot of things that are pretty petty.
And well,
you know,
and I'm in my right mind, so it's different. But like when I was going through that, he really listened to me well and, you know, did his best to try to understand, even though obviously like with mental illness you're not making complete sense. But I did go through some situations with other people who love me and had the best of intentions, but would say things like, well, I don't know how to help you, or, you know, there's nothing else I can do. And when somebody hears that, like, it just feels like, okay, I guess they've given up on me. I'm not going to share with them anymore. And the last thing you want to do with somebody with mental illness is like put up a wall, because then they're not going to come to you and it's just going to get worse. And you don't want them to feel even more isolated, because it's already super isolating. What are some other tips you can think of?
Yeah, I guess kind of be open, I guess, to just be a really good listener. Be open. Kind of just don't try to find a solution.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Talk them through things.
Yeah, especially for men, they always want to fix things. And you can't fix that.
I'm like that, you know. So I guess it's just a matter of talking him through, like, listen, like, let's take it a day at a time, kind of thing. You know, don't be like, no, you're fine. Yeah, like she said, don't talk them down, because then that's gonna make it worse.
Right. Well, you can talk them down and like, it's gonna be okay, like, I love you, but don't be like, why are you freaking out about this? This isn't a big deal. Don't say that kind of stuff.
Or something like that, yeah.
Right.
I guess that's really I guess that's like the biggest thing, I guess, is just to be a good listener and don't talk down to them.
Yeah, and another thing I was thinking of, it didn't come to this for me, but be prepared to get help if they're not willing to. That can be a really hard thing in marriage, but in our opinion, when we set our vows, for better, for worse, till death do us part, and all that, like, in sickness and in health, sometimes when someone's not well, if they don't want to get help, you may have to step in. I've known people, you know, I've heard of people who have had to, you know, make those calls or do those things, you know, not even about depression, but other things. Like if they won't go to the doctor, they've, you know, requested an ambulance or whatever it may be. Because at the end of the day, like, you look out for each other, and if that person's not in their right mind, you may have to take matters into your own hands as much as you can. But I would also, you know, if your spouse is like beyond, you know, their mental health is beyond the norm, and they're not willing to get help, and you're really worried about them, I would try to encourage them to at least just go in. Maybe say it's for something else, I don't know, but just try to get them to go in. Not even necessarily for medication, but just, you know, to be led in the right path, because it's very hard to do on your own, especially if you're resisting help. So I think just trying to encourage them to get help, and reach out, and to not feel alone, because so many people deal with this, even though it feels so isolating.
Right. Yeah. I guess piggyback off of that, I guess if it's possible, you know, fill in other family members and friends, like, hey, so-and-so, my girlfriend, my whatever, is going through a really hard time. I could use a little bit of
maybe ask for help,
encouragement, or maybe come swing by and see if we can both talk to her and can
or even like do the laundry, or
or
help
something
out.
Because honestly, Sarah, like, needed that company. Not saying she was gonna do anything drastic or you know, to end it all, like what most people think, but like just to have peace of mind,
not
knowing
feel so alone. I just wanted to
knowing
be around
somebody
people.
was there that she could talk to, have interactions with, other than like, you know, a 5-week-old child or whatever.
Whatever old Celia was.
You know, so it's huge. Human interaction is huge during that time.
So we hope this video was helpful. If you have gone through depression and have any other tips, or maybe you're a mental health, you know, advocate, or in your job or whatever, please leave some extra tips and ideas in the comments below. We really want this to be a helpful video for people. It's a very serious topic, and something we like to make our mess our message, and that was definitely one of the big messes in my life. Very, very hard time I never want to relive ever again, but if we can help people through it, we want to do that. So,
and please, you guys, if you're watching this and you are feeling any type of way of, you know, depression, suicidal, mental health problems, please go get help.
Yeah,
we'll
right
post
away.
numbers down in the description.
Yeah.
Links. Mental health is not something you should mess around with. So
no, get help. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.